Today I will show you how we can perform local privilege escalation from innocently looking privilege, SeManageVolumePrivilege. When we take a look into the Windows privileges, secpol.msc, we can clearly see local policies, user right assignment. There is a bunch of privileges, and here we can see manage. Perform volume maintenance task, this one. By default, only administrators have this privilege granted. If we take a look into details, there is kind of general warning, but nothing giving us information. If you grant this privilege to a user, this user can be admin any moment, and I will show you how we can do this in practice. So I will create a user, computer management, and then users, local users, groups, users. I will create a user, new user test with a password, then repeated password, does not have to change, create, close, and that's basically it. I have a user being a member of users group only, not being an admin, not being privileged any special way. Right now, I will grant this user a privilege. So I will add a user or group, and I will grant my user test, check names, okay, apply, okay. You can see my user will obtain this privilege when logs on top of default set of privileges for the user. I will log on as this user, so I will sign out as admin, and I will log on as my user test, and here password, the logon will happen. In the meantime, I will show you what this privilege is responsible for, because we can send some special commands to the file system. We have a somehow documented NTFS control file function in the Windows API, and within this file function, NTFS control file function, we have to use file handle, and we have to send a very special control code. When it comes to the control code, Microsoft says those control codes are documented. When we take a look into the documentation, we can see the list of control codes is somehow longer. They are also present in winio.ctl.h header file, but we can see there is a control code not being documented anywhere, literally anywhere, with this particular value. So I will try to use the function NTFS control file to send this control code to the C drive. To do this, I have to have a SeManageVolumePrivilege, the perform volume maintenance task privilege, in my token, which I just configure on my machine. To send the FSCTL code to the drive, we do not have to do anything very complicated. Actually, we have to first open a handle to a volume with a create file using those two flags, which are perfectly well allowed for any user in the system, and then having this handle, we are sending a TFS control file. We are using this function to send for this handle this particular control code, the one I have just mentioned. If we do this, and if we provide a proper input and output structures here, we can replace on the fly any old seat on the whole drive to a new seat on the whole drive. In this particular case, I'm replacing administrators well-known seat to users well-known seat, and we'll see the effect in a moment. So my user hopefully is logged on. I will accept it. My user is logged on. I will launch CMD, Windows R CMD. whoami/priv to display privileges. You can see I have only the default set of privileges plus this one SeManageVolumePrivilege. I have just granted using secpol.msc. Right now I can try to take a look on one of the Windows services. So the one I would like to focus on is Edge Update. is very handy for my purpose. So SCQC edge update. SCQC means please display me a configuration of this particular Windows service. And I can see there is a service with this particular binary path, and it is called Microsoft Edge Update Service, whatever, doesn't matter, and it's automatically starting as a local system. So when I want to attack my operating system, the thing I can do with services is to replace the original file with a piece of my executable file, generating new accounts, I don't know, encrypting files, creating backdoor, whatever. It will be launched when the service starts, and this is the goal. I have created a very short and simple piece of code. Here you can see it. It does two things. The first one is to create a user by calling netUserAdd Windows API function, and then I'm adding this new user to the local group called administrators. So effectively, this piece of code, including some logging, will create me a new admin with this particular password. So it effectively does what I need. It is not even a service, but it's a piece of executable file. So if I try to launch it as a service, it will do the job. Okay. To rename this particular, to replace this particular file on the working service, the trick is quite simple. You have first rename the original file, then put your file into the same directory, and when the service restarts, it will read the path to the executable file from the registry, and it will launch during next service start your binary instead of legitimate one. But if as a normal user, when I try to rename this file, let's see, rename this particular file to old.exe, I will see access denied, which is not a big surprise, because CLS for this particular file will tell me for this particular executable file, only system has a full control, administrators have a full control, but regular users, and I'm a regular user over here, can only read this file. So it is quite obvious I cannot rename it. So I will send the fsctl code using the piece of the C program I have just demonstrated you. I will send the fsctl code to the drive, and effectively I will replace permissions on this file on the fly. So cd tools, I have this program in my tools folder. It is named like the fsctl, so fsctl something something. Press enter. I provided like a last chance to resign from this thing. I will press enter, and I will see 111 entries were changed. So again, you can see it was system administrators full control and users only read. If I reissue the same ICL-CLS command after running my fsctl program, you can see users happen in place of administrators. So users right now have a full control over this file. So again, F7, I will rename it to the old, which this time, well, I have the old already created there, so I will rename it to old one, and I will place my binary file in the place where the service binary file existed previously. So it will be copy my binary file, it is a new admin service, and I will paste the path. If I press enter, the file is being copied, and right now this original file is my file. During the next restart, the user will be created. I can quickly demonstrate it. I will log on as GT. And right now, hopefully I have no, okay, this is like a side effect of changing permissions on the drive. It will happen after running this program. The NTFS structure is not corrupt, but I definitely do not recommend doing this on production servers. I will go to computer management. I will show you local users. There is a GTadmin. I will remove this user. Yes, I want to remove it. Okay. And right now, if I run CMD, Control Shift Enter to have it as an admin, and I will start SC start edge update. I'm starting this manually, but it is happening every single system restart. Starting manually is just faster. It will obviously fail as I replace it with a binary not being a service. If I refresh here the list, you can see the new admin appeared and it is a member of administrator, which is exactly what was needed. So effectively, by granting someone this privilege as a manage volume privilege or perform volume maintenance task privilege, you allow this user to be an admin every moment this user wants. If you want to take a look on the code responsible for this, it is relatively easy as I am publishing everything on my repo on GitHub, so feel free to play with it and to misuse it or use it or just perform some research. Thank you and hopefully see you soon.